All right. Today, we're jumping into this really beautiful song by Alison McLean, and we're going to unpack a fascinating idea, a real paradox that sits right at the heart of creativity and, well, control. So the whole theme of the song really hangs on this one powerful line. The idea that we're molding our own way. And that sounds pretty active, right? It's this idea that we're the ones shaping our path, our lives. It's all about intention, control, like we're the authors of our own story. But then, bam, the song just throws this total curveball at us. The lyrics say, "When we surrender, we are the way." So hold on a second. How can we be molding something if we're also supposed to surrender? I mean, how can you be in control and also be letting go at the same time? It feels like a total contradiction. And that's exactly the puzzle we're going to solve today.
Okay, so to figure this out, we've got to start with the basics. We need to understand what our role is in this whole creative process. And luckily, the lyrics give us a really clear place to start. First things first, the song tells us who we are in this scenario. We're not just sitting on the sidelines watching things happen. Nope. The lyrics say we are the artist. And think about it. What do artists do? They create. And then they put that creation on display, on exhibition. So right away, that really doubles down on that whole idea of being an active creator.
Okay, but what exactly are we putting on display? It's not about paintings or anything like that. The song suggests it's our creative spirit itself. So our whole purpose, our job as the artist, is to show the world this inner creative energy we all have. And of course, we're not just making this stuff up out of thin air. The lyrics remind us that we're in a world where ideas arrive. So yeah, we're the artist, but the world around us is constantly feeding us the inspiration, the raw materials for our spirit to play with.
But here's the thing, putting your soul, your spirit, out there for everyone to see, well, that's not free. There's a price of admission. There's a cost to get into this creative game. And the lyrics are crystal clear about what that price is. It's vulnerability. That's our fee. To be that artist, to put your spirit on display, you have to be willing to be seen, to be open, to feel a little exposed. It's the one thing you can't get around. It's non-negotiable.
So just to be clear, we're not talking about money here. This fee is all about an emotional, maybe even a spiritual cost. If we really want to create, to actually mold our own way, we have to pay that price first. We have to be willing to lower our guard and just embrace being vulnerable. Which brings us right back to the big question, doesn't it? Okay, so we're the artist. Vulnerability is the price of admission. But how in the world does that connect to this idea of surrender? It still feels like a totally separate, passive thing. Let's see if we can make these pieces click together. All right, this is where it all comes together. This is where we crack the code on that paradox. It's all about redefining what we think surrender means, especially when we're talking about creativity. So you can almost picture two columns in your head, right? In one column, you've got active molding, all about shaping, building, being in control. And in the other column, passive surrender, letting go, giving up. I mean, they look like total opposites. How could they possibly work together? But the song doesn't try to hide this tension at all. It puts it right out there in the open. When we surrender, we are the way. And notice, it doesn't say it's a way. It says it is the way. That's a huge clue. It's telling us that surrender isn't some roadblock on the path. It is the path. And honestly, that is the key to the entire song. In this world, surrender doesn't mean giving up or losing. Not at all. It means trusting the flow. It's about the artist letting go of that death grip, that need for rigid control, and just allowing that inspiration, those ideas that arrive, to guide them. It's a huge act of trust in the creative process itself. So let's just walk through the steps one more time. We start out as the artist, right? We want to show our creative spirit to the world. To do that, we have to pay the fee. We have to be vulnerable, to open ourselves up. And it's only in that open state that we can actually surrender. Again, not give up, but trust the flow. And when we do that, that's when we don't just find the way, we literally become the way. So you see, surrender isn't the opposite of molding at all. It's the engine that drives it. It's the secret key that unlocks our ability to really, truly create. The moment we let go of needing to control every single little outcome, we make space for something way more authentic and powerful to be molded through us. And just like that, the paradox is gone. It's solved. And there's one last beautiful piece to this puzzle. The lyrics frame this whole cycle not as some big, hard struggle, but as something completely natural, something that just keeps going. This line is just a gorgeous metaphor, isn't it?
It's telling us that this whole process, being the artist, being vulnerable, surrendering, and then molding, it's all as natural and unavoidable as the sunrise. The night doesn't fight the morning, it just surrenders to the cycle, and in that surrender, it becomes the dawn.
And what that means is that molding our way isn't some project you finish and then you're done. No way. It's a continuous journey. It's this constant rhythm of opening up, trusting, creating, and then starting all over again, day after day.
So now when we look at that whole chorus together, it just clicks, doesn't it? The lines aren't fighting each other at all. They're telling a story in order. They're describing this one really elegant process. First we surrender, and that allows us to become the way. This whole thing is as natural as night becoming day. And the end result? Well, the end result is that we are molding our own way.
So, what's the big takeaway from all this? I think the real genius of these lyrics is this idea that true creation, that real molding, doesn't come from forcing things. It comes from flow. We actively shape our lives when we're brave enough to just surrender to that creative spirit that's trying to move through us. And so that leaves us with one final question to think about. Knowing that the real key isn't to force it, but to trust the process, what way are you molding for yourself right now?